If you want to date real nice guys, Jane Austen left you this warning in Pride and Prejudice, and it actually says a lot about modern dating. Let's jump into it by telling you a story. In the mid-2000s, Penny was scrolling through a dating site and she came across the profile of a man named Brett. She messaged him and the pair started gaming and virtually chatting every day, but 2 weeks into this, Brett still had not asked Penny out. Now, most people would say he was stringing her along, but his astrology tells me that there was something else going on. Hi, I'm Amber Blaze, and I discovered a lost astrology method that shows me the exact timing windows for falling in love. And what happened with Penny and Brett makes a lot of sense when you look at one of the main themes of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, which opens with the very famous line, "It is the truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife." But here's what most people miss. That line isn't about what the man wants. It's about the pressure from the village. In the world of the book, the pressure was on Mr. Bingley and Mr. Darcy, who entered the village as bachelors and immediately became very interesting to the community, who saw them as valuable, rich, single men whose purpose it was to be instantly married off to one of the local women. Bingley happily went along with it, but when Mr. Darcy did not, he was famously villainized by the villagers, who didn't take into account his actual feelings or his cosmic timing. None of that mattered to the social machine of the 1800s. Fast forward to today, and our village is the world of dating apps and social circles, and we have a new version of the eligible bachelor, the emotionally available, single, nice guy. For him, the unspoken rule becomes, it is a truth universally acknowledged that a nice guy who is kind to a woman must be in want of a relationship with her. But what happens when he isn't, or when he's still unsure if she's for him? First, we have to separate a nice guy from a good man, because the term nice guy has become so loaded. So let's clarify. A player pretends to be available. That's the opposite of nice. A good man knows his limits. He understands he can't be a genuine partner to everyone, right? And that's what Brett was doing. He was gathering information, seeing if they were a real fit, because the kindest thing he could do if they weren't a match would have been to not ask Penny out at all, not later on. Luckily, he did feel positive, and 2 weeks after meeting, he asked Penny on a date. And the couple had been happily married for almost 20 years now and are raising their 2 kids together. And here's the astrology part that I loved. When they met, Penny's chart was in a green light for love, and that's perfect, that's what you want. But Brett's was in the red light period, and that day his astrology timing actually opened up was the exact day he asked her out. This showed me that his waiting was not a lack of interest. It was a sign of being in tune with his own rhythm. It was real integrity, not just superficial niceness. So the next time a great guy doesn't choose you right away or fades away, before you label him the villain like Mr. Darcy, consider the Jane Austen paradox. Maybe he's not failing the nice guy test. Maybe by not pretending to be available to the entire village, he's passing a much more important one.